Oh, listen, call me naive, but did you know that sometimes elected politicians have a secret double life we never know about? It is shocking, I know. But thanks to our next guest, we watched as a galactic senator turned into the leader of a rebellion to take down the Empire. Please say hello to my hero, Mon Mothma herself, Genevieve O'Reilly. Oh, my stars, Genevieve. Thank you for coming back. It is wonderful to see you.
Oh, it's so lovely to be here. Thank you for being so kind.
This is wonderful because Mon Mothma is a character that you have been playing for so long, and yet you have only recently been able, through Andor, to kind of dive in and really explore the character. How's it been playing this character for decades?
I mean, I feel extraordinarily fortunate to have had the opportunity to play her at different times in her life and at different times in my life. I think you're right. This is a different experience because of Tony Gilroy's writing, because of the space he's given to explore her as a senator, as a wife, as a mother, to look at her as a woman.
Yeah, and it's been so wonderful to watch the way Tony's scripts and also the way everybody has been playing the show, of playing against what we know and our expectations, and you've really taken advantage of the fact that we haven't seen a lot of Mon Mothma in the past, and so we have this very specific view of what a perfect and wonderful leader she is and how idealistic and all of this. And was it fun to kind of just rip my heart out about that, Genevieve? Was it fun to ruin that for me?
Yeah, apologies. But I guess I always felt that she was in every iteration, including when Caroline Blakeston first originated her in Return of the Jedi, she was a bit of a pillar. She was like this statue of dignity and of loyalty, and I think we're busy carving out a woman within that at the moment, and so we find in Andor, like all of Tony's characters in Andor, that they're complicated, that they're gritty, that they're messy, that they're passionate, and that each of them carries a sacrifice. And I think that's what we're exploring right now as we're filming season 2.
Oh, and by the end of season 1, yeah. And by the end of season 1, your heart is really breaking for Mon. You know, like watching her try to keep all of these threads in place. And I have this thing that I call it Mon Mothma's couch of sadness. You know, because every time Mon Mothma has somebody over to her apartment and you sit down on that couch, I'm like, whose life is about to go down the drain?
Yeah.
Who's about to have the worst day of their life right now?
It's never good, is it?
It's never good.
I mean, it's not a comedy, that's for sure.
Oh, man. But you know, talking about those emotional moments, you have so many wonderful kind of monologues and dialogues, bits of dialogue with people. Was there any line that really stuck out, or moment that stuck out to you and you were like, oh yes, like this is it, like this is the show?
Yeah, do you know there was? I mean, the writing on this show is so special, and so there are many lines, but I remember, in fact there's 2 lines, but I think it was around episode 7. She says it in one of the scenes. She's talking to Tay Colma, and she says, what people say about me, what people know about me, it's a lie. And then later on, she talks about Palpatine, and she says, I show you the stone in my hand, and you'll miss the knife at your throat.
Yes.
And I thought that was amazing. I thought, because she's all about, like you said before, she's all about what she can conceal, the secrets that she can hold, what she can hide, how she can navigate her way through an imperial senate while believing and holding the ideals that she believes. Like, it's a whole chasm and chaos of concealment.
Yeah. And it's really wonderful to watch the design, the visual language of the show kind of reflect that, right? Because when we see her apartment and her family and her wardrobe, everything that she wears, everything is just perfect. You immediately see Mon Mothma's apartment or like what she's wearing, and you're just like, I want to live there. I want to do that.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
I want to live there.
I know, it's beautiful.
I want to do that.
Was there like anything, because she is so iconic looking. Was there anything where you put it on, you're like, this comes home with me. This is mine now. This is Mon, but this is also Genevieve now.
Well, props to Michael Wilkinson, our costume designer, and Luke Hull, our production designer.
Yeah, it's a beautiful show.
They are.
Beautiful show.
I often say that her costumes in Andor, Michael and his team didn't make the costumes, they curated the costumes. They're like pieces of architecture themselves. So, and I think they really changed the way we see Mon Mothma, how we see her, what an extraordinary woman she is. And so it's a joy to be able to wear them. To be honest with you, I don't want to wear them in my home. They're not that comfortable. They're pretty structured, so I'm happy to leave them at work if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, it is funny, like watching like the duality of appearances with Mon Mothma and Luthen Rael.
Yeah, they're amazing.
in his shop.
Yeah.
And the
gallery.
The gallery. Sorry. Luthen Rael does not say, he's not a shopkeeper. I'm sorry. He's a curator. But watching the two of you play those scenes off of each other, where you should be the two most aligned people in the world.
Yeah.
And you just can't be. What was sort of playing those particular Mon Mothma Luthen Rael scenes like? Because those are some of my favorite in the show.
Well, Stellan Skarsgård, who plays Luthen Rael,
pretty good. He's pretty good.
Extraordinary actor.
Ask anybody; they'll tell you Stellan Skarsgård, pretty good.
I mean, and it was such a treat for me to get to work with Stellan, to get to play together, and we were kind of like kids in a candy shop. But you're right. You think that these two should be hand in hand. But I think that's what Andor does so well, because at this point, there is no collective rebellion. They're all just... the seeds of oppression are just growing within many different spheres. So we don't have one voice. And everyone is trying to find each other, to have a collective voice. And so I think as much as they need each other, they also really differ in how they might approach things and how they do things, but that makes space for good drama, and that's what Tony's writing is all about.
Yeah, we were talking to Denise and Kyle earlier about sort of a similar thing on the side of the Imperials, where it's like it's almost like just living in society and doing your job every day. You get turned off to like the effect of what you do and how that affects society, and just sort of like if you're an Imperial officer, you're probably working in a cubicle. If you're Mon Mothma, you're probably going to meetings all day, and it's like it's been wild to watch that sort of been brought to Star Wars, that sort of character tone, that sort of thing where it's like, no, this could be everybody.
I think that's what Andor is one of the many beautiful things about this piece and about being part of this piece, is that Tony Gilroy and our writers and our creators are using the genre of science fiction, but what they're really doing is holding up a mirror to us and our humanity.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so it speaks to all of us, and it's very prescient.
Yeah. It's been absolutely wonderful to watch the first season. And, and it seems, talking to all of you, there's such a respect and a love for each other, and it really feels like this is a team that's like you're all on the same page, and it's wonderful to see.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary group of people. Everybody working at the height of their craft and of our profession. The writers, the artists, the set decorators, the props makers, the creatures. I was working with Derek, who works, you will all know him, he does so many of the creatures, and I was, just the joy to get to work with these people who are at the height of their own profession.
Yes.
And for us all to get to share in it together. It's a really special group, and it's, I hope you love it, because it's really special to be able to share it with you.
Yeah. I think it is so wonderful. It is such a unique thing within Star Wars. It has its own voice, but it does feel extremely Star Wars, and you've all been doing such a wonderful job with it. Is there anything you can tell us about season 2 or things to look forward to?
I mean, I can't wait for you to see season 2. I mean, we're in the middle of it. We're filming it right now. We were working, today's what? What day is it today? Friday?
It's Friday.
So we're working till yesterday. We start back on Monday. We're really waist deep in it. Season 1 sets everybody up. You have these almost parallel stories. Obviously, in season 2, we jump forward a year every 3 episodes. So it drives, it has a focus, it has a laser, it is more dangerous, more passionate, more emotional, and more thrilling, if that's even possible. And it's going to be a really exciting piece of work.
Oh my. Well, we are so looking forward to it. And we are so looking forward to seeing more of you as Mon Mothma. Genuinely one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. So wonderful. Thank you for joining us, Genevieve.
Thank you, and thank you all so much.
Genevieve O'Reilly, everybody. Mon Mothma. We'll be back with more Star Wars Celebration live in just a moment.